We're back with our remaining moments with Beverley Callard, the star of Coronation Street, Loose Women. She's got a DVD out and, of course, her autobiography. It's an interesting point in your life now, isn't it, where we've suddenly become interested in you more than your characters. I think we talked about this earlier with the Loose Women stuff. That's a great place to be because not many actors can be themselves.
No, I'm finding it quite exhilarating, actually. It's a really special time in my life. And, you know, when you get those days and those moments where you think, oh, I hope this doesn't stop. Everything is so good and I'm so lucky. So, yeah, I'm having a ball.
It doesn't seem like there's any facade or act. Do you actually enjoy just being who you are and letting people join the party if they're interested?
Oh gosh, not always. I mean, everybody's heard about it and I won't bore everybody, but sometimes I so don't enjoy being me. I suffered last year from very severe clinical depression, and I had to have ECT, which is electroconvulsive therapy. I had 12 sessions, and sometimes since I started to get well, you know, I was off work for 3 months last year, and since I started to get well, I think it's difficult to put into words, and I enjoy putting it into words, but I've got nothing to hide. But sometimes I do have very low self-esteem and I do lack confidence, but I'm not as bad as I used to be.
Is that the case with most actors? Because I always think that, even in myself, the front is way bigger than the reality.
Yeah, and I think actors, and, you know, you're the same, Alex, people in our job, we tend to be quite shy, really. But we love people and we're, you know, fun-loving. And if you click with someone, and I think that's the joy of Loose Women, when you click and you can just sit there and have a good chat, and there's no pretense, you know, there's no facade. I think that's when people get to know you the best, really.
Of course, you're in the public eye, and it sometimes bites you in the backside. I know last year as well, which didn't help, was all those stories about your finances. Do you think the papers have a right to write that stuff, or should they mind their own business?
Oh, gosh, that's a hard one. I mean, sometimes you open a paper or a magazine, because I think the magazines can be as bad now, and you can open them and think, this is just complete rubbish. But then, on the other hand, they can really help you, you know, as well. And especially if you're working for a charity or for something like that, it can, and you're fundraising, it can really lift the profile of something. So I think it's a double-edged sword in a way, but to be honest, you've just got to take it. And I take it better now than I used to. And since I've been ill, and because I was so honest about it, because at first I thought, I'm not going to talk about this at all, I was quite ashamed and I felt a little embarrassed because there's such a big stigma around depression and mental illness. But I think they've been very good to me and sort of appreciated my honesty, really. I hope so, anyway.
I struggle with being wronged. I don't like it when people say things about me publicly or even privately that aren't true, and I always want a right of reply, and often you don't have that. How do you stop that becoming really bitter and twisted and a very dark place?
I think sometimes you can't stop that. And believe me, there are some times when I truly read something and I think, I can't wait till I meet this person, I'm going to punch the lights out, you know. And I'm sure every person who's sort of high profile must feel that, you know. But it just goes with the job, unfortunately.
You've had such an interesting life, and of course Leeds is where it all began. And just looking through your CV, I mean, show business has really always been a part of your life in one way or another, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And especially in Leeds. I think I used to be in an amateur drama group in Leeds, and my first TV job was at Yorkshire Television because the director had seen me on stage in Leeds. And, you know, my mum was born there, I was born there, and I love Leeds.
How often do you get back?
Oh, I was there the week before last. My son still lives there.
Well, why don't we do dinner? You must let me know when you're in town.
I would love to.
This is ridiculous. Why are we hanging about, Beverley? We've got so much to talk about.
Absolutely. I'm having a great time.
I was down with a very showbiz lady, Mel B, the other week from the Spice Girls, who was at a very posh hotel, and I brought up your name and her eyes just filled up with just such admiration. She thinks you're one of the most talented and most lovely people in show business. Again, I don't think you can be a faker for as long as you've been in the business. If there's something inherently nasty about you, I think you're going to get caught out, because you can't cover up forever, can you?
Oh no, I'm sure you couldn't. And Melanie, I've known her since she was about 8 years old, and she again is a beautiful human being. She is one of God's children. She's been my daughter's best friend. They both went to school together in Leeds. They went to Intake High School in Bramley, and they do a great performing arts course there, but their education, their ordinary academic education, doesn't suffer. And Melanie is just lovely, absolutely lovely, and a very hard worker as well.
And of course, when we look at hard work, we've seen your schedule this week alone. These fitness classes are so interesting because A, you must have better things you could do. B, you could be earning more money doing it somewhere else. This is really a passion of yours, isn't it?
It is. I've taught. I used to teach in Leeds all the time at all different health clubs, but I've taught fitness for 28 years, and I've always taught at least 3 times a week. And then when I went into hospital in February of last year, I had to stop, and I'd literally got to stop for 17 months because the medication affected my balance. And gosh, I started to get fat. The lycra skirts were just getting tighter and more stretched, believe me. And I put loads of weight on, especially around my middle and everything. And then in July, they said to me, you can they changed my medication this July and said you can begin to go back to teaching again and get your stamina levels up and your fitness levels up. And so I started teaching again, and I've completely transformed myself. I'm back to how I was. I'm back to a size 8, but I've also transformed 25 real women. You know, they're not models, they're not dancers, they're all working mums. They all live in Salford, near where I live, and they've all done it. They've all thrown their old jeans away because they're all too big. Oh,
I love that. I love those pictures where you show the jeans from the past and the jeans that are currently on, and they're about 10 sizes bigger than the ones you're putting in the bin.
It's fantastic.
It's great, isn't it?
And I love it. It's just the one place where I'm not an actress, I'm not a wife, I'm not a mother, I'm not a grandma, I'm just Beverley. And the women have done amazingly well, amazing.
I tend not to have people on to promote their fitness DVDs because I think mostly they're a scam. They're people who are paid
I have to say, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I hate celebrity fitness DVDs, but yeah, and most of them, I won't name names, but what they do is they go on starvation diets and live on a radish and a lettuce leaf for 6 months and then say, look, if I did it, you can do it. That's not me. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I did all the choreography myself. We have no airbrushing whatsoever. There's no tricks. You see them filmed at the beginning and you see them at the end. And listen, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, I need your help, Beverley, because the truth is I've got the man boobs and the bingo wings and it's not going so well. I'm going to come to one of your classes. I
wish you would.
Oh, I'd love it.
I wish you would. You should maybe, I don't know, get some of your listeners to run a competition and they can come along.
Beverley Callard's new DVD is coming out in the new year, and it is a true inspiration to see a lady who isn't just taking the money and running. She actually does this for a living, and it's her proper job. I mean, really, the telly and the loose women and the corros just filling in while you've got a bit of time on your hands, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, your book is tremendous. I haven't got to the end of it, but it really was so honest and real and incredibly uncomfortable in places. You're almost too honest for your own good. And I tell you, the other person I said that to this year was Denise Walsh. Her book's the same. I mean, just brutally honest.
Absolutely.
Good luck with the loose
women.
women.
She was my bridesmaid.
I know, it's in the book. Good luck with the loose women. You know I love the girls very much, so my regards to all of them.
Thank you so much.
And the DVD's out now, the book's out now, and we'll see you back on Coro in the new year. Stay, please don't go.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've made up my mind. That's it.
None of your nonsense. Beverley Callard, thanks for joining us.
Oh, Alex, thank you. Thank you. It's been a great pleasure.